Hello, and welcome to Otter Update for May. I'm your host, Caden Litt, and this is my co-host, Peyton Marquette.
Hey Caden, how are you feeling as the school year ends?
I've been feeling pretty good. I've been getting my homework turned in, but I'm definitely ready for summer to come. How about you?
Well, I'm just trying to get this chemistry homework done, but other than that, I'm also really excited for summer.
As the school year wraps up, so do a lot of student sports and activities. We begin today with a recap of sampling from our school's team. We at Otter Update know that a lot of our athletes and performers have had great seasons, but we unfortunately can't cover them all.
To all the Otters who have participated in a spring sport or activity, congratulations, but today we'll be featuring Otterbots and the girls softball team.
We'll follow those up with reports on our state-related FFA team and Knowledge Bowl team, as well as the representative team from track and field and boys tennis.
So many dubs you get last night.
I'd say I got around like 69, I'd say. My life, this school.
Just leave your stuff. Come on, let's go to the office.
If you're caught swearing in the halls, you'll be remembered as a fool. Don't be a fool. Don't swear in the halls at school.
Peyton Marquette here to interview Coach Swanson of the Otterbots team about the program.
Otterbots are part of the first FRC program. FIRST stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. FIRST is a program that is worldwide. So there are probably about 5,000 or 6,000 teams all over the world that compete every year. And every year the game is different. They announce the game the first Saturday of January, and it changes every year. And so you don't know what the challenge is going to be. Generally speaking, the restrictions stay about the same. It's about a 120-pound robot. It's about this size, give or take, with some constraints. And there's some budget and time constraints. And then you pick the regional that you attend, and the Otterbots attended the Grand Forks Regional. And tremendous teams up there. I'd say one of the best teams in all the world competes up in the Grand Forks Regional. And they did fantastic. They did so well this year that they qualified for the Minnesota State High School League Championship.
Yeah, sounds like a big deal then.
Oh yeah, great deal, great program. There's over 200 robotics teams in the state of Minnesota right now.
Tracked down Landon Krause, part of the Otterbots team, and he's going to explain to us a little bit about how this robot works and how it functions.
So at the bottom of the robot here we have our drivetrain, which is a 6-wheel tank drive powered by 6 Neo motors, which are connected to gearboxes on either side. Then if you go here on the front, this is the intake, which picks the cargo off the ground and brings it into the conveyor that brings it up to the shooter. The shooter has a wheel in the front and the back to make sure the shot doesn't have any spin. And then we have 2 shooting modes. We can go for a high shot or a low shot. On the sides of the robot, we have these wooden arms, which are powered by these drums on the side and some steel cable. And that's used to lift the robot off the ground onto the hangar.
Thank you to Landon and Coach Swanson for their time. The Otterbots team would like to say that they're accepting applications in early January next year, and we're all excited to see if they'll be able to carry the momentum that they had this year.
Junior reporter Savannah Miller recording with
Rylan.
Rylan. How's your softball season going?
Oh, it's going good. We're doing good.
How long have you been doing softball for?
Since I was about 3.
Nice, nice. All right, Rylan, what's your favorite softball memory?
Last year, Piper slid into first base.
Who is your softball coach?
Lisa Truex and Kari Krein.
And that's your mom, correct?
Yes.
How is it like working with your mom?
It's okay.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yep.
All right, Ms. Krein, how long have you been coaching softball for?
Well, technically, I started coaching at Park and Rec level after high school, and then in Le Sueur, Minnesota, I coached a couple of years there. Came back to it probably about 5 years ago at the high school level, between junior high and high school here.
What is your favorite part about coaching these girls?
I just love getting to interact with the girls, getting to know them, seeing what motivates them to work harder, just working with their individual skills and setting some goals.
What is a favorite memory you have?
There's a lot of memories, a lot of good memories. Mostly anytime we win, especially like a close game or a big game, and the excitement that everyone shows and the happiness afterwards is a lot of fun. Of course, there's memories of losing as well, but the winning is more fun.
Would you still continue to coach in a couple of years?
I will probably coach in some capacity, maybe at a younger level with my younger daughter, but also want to be able to enjoy watching my other son play sports as well. So in some capacity, yes, I will coach.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have for you.
Junior reporter Caden Litt here with
Caden Carlson. White Huckabee.
what do you guys do in your part of the FFA team?
Well, I'm on the Fish and Wildlife team. I compete in that section.
I'm on the egg mechanics team for FFA.
How did you guys do at the state meet?
I place bronze individuals.
I play silver and individual, and my team plays gold in 10th and state.
How has your experience in FFA been so far?
Mine's been really good. I really want to get into the agriculture mechanics side of an occupation later in life, so it's really helped me in that way and seeing what I'd maybe want to do later in life.
Well, I really enjoyed it, but I'm kind of thinking about switching on to egg mechanics team if I can, and that's about
What's something most other students might not know about FFA and what it's about?
I don't know. Like Witzke said, there's kind of everything you could ever imagine. A great team, the right friends together, do whatever you want.
Yeah, like Witzke and Wyatt said, pretty much anything you could be interested in as a hobby or as a job later in life, FFA probably does have a competition that you could look at. And even if you just want to come and check it out for a day, if you come, you don't necessarily have to know exactly what you want to do. You can come and just check out every competition if you want to.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you for your time. Senior reporter Caden Litt here with
Mr. Witzke.
Now, Mr. Witzke, first, for students who aren't quite aware, what is FFA?
FFA is a student organization that is nationwide. We have roughly 700,000 members nationwide. We have roughly 14,000 members probably in the state of Minnesota, and Fergus Falls we're roughly about 45 members. And it's an organization that allows students to compete in different contest areas that are of interest to them.
How did your FFA team do at the state meet?
We had 4 teams qualified for the state contest. How it works is we have about 30 different contest areas, and 4 of our teams qualified for the state contest at our regional events. And we had our Fish and Wildlife team placed bronze at the state, our egg sales team placed bronze at the state, our horse team placed silver, and our egg mechanics team placed gold, and they were 10th in the state.
What do you do as a coach for your team?
FFA, we really just have one chance, one contest to qualify for a state contest. We try to prepare them really well. But we don't have practices every night. We maybe have one once a week to prepare students. So it's a lot lower key. I'm just there to help organize and help give them advice and train them.
Yeah. What's something most students might not know about FFA?
There's almost anything that you would be interested in, like a hobby. We probably have a contest area in FFA that fits that. So if you have an interest in anything that beyond school, if you talk to me, I could probably find a team or contest or event that you would be interested in. And it gets you a chance to meet students from 21 other chapters in our region. And after a while, you start developing friendships with those students from other schools. And what's kind of neat is it's not always, you're there to compete in a competition, but yet you help each other at the same time. So there's a lot of teamwork and building and things like that.
That's all I have for you. Thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Don't want this to be you? Maybe next time, reevaluate your decisions and your actions before your consequences become permanent. Drive and text, and you're next.
Senior reporter Caden Litt here with
Elizabeth Abrahams.
You went to the state tournament with the knowledgeable kids that went.
Yes.
How would you say they did?
They did really well. Really well. So we started with a much larger group, and through competitions, it got down to this last remaining team who happened to be called Fergus Fire. And it was a phenomenal combination of kids who had been in this group for a long time, and they knew each other and their strengths, and we made it to the state tournament and came in 20th out of 48 teams. So we did really well. I really recommend that kids get involved, and you can meet new people, and it's not a super time consuming thing, but I think it's a really good time, and I would really encourage kids to look into it.
Senior reporter Isaac Job here with
Ainsley Hansen.
Owen Babolian.
So Ainsley, how are the girls doing this year?
Well, we don't have very many girls on the team, but I'd say even with the low numbers, we're doing pretty well.
What about the boys, Owen?
I'd say we're doing pretty good. This year we're pretty decent on numbers, and just on Tuesday we won our 2-team meet to go to state to the boys team.
What's your guys' favorite track memory so far?
Well, mine is probably when I broke the school record on my first meet back, and then broke it recently again.
Mine is probably on Tuesday going to state from the 2-team meet.
What are you guys going to miss about track?
Probably just hanging out with my friends every day.
That's probably same here. Just like sitting around at the meets when you're not competing, and the bus rides.
Do you guys have any advice for future track athletes?
Just to jump high and run fast, pretty much.
Probably to put in work in the off season because it makes the season a lot more fun.
Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.
Yep.
You are very welcome.
Senior reporter Isaac Job here with
Henny's Vibed.
Delicious. Fact Daddy.
How do you think the boys are doing this season?
Started off pretty good, but we got some work to do.
Yeah, everybody's points got on Tuesday. We had to work really hard.
2 teams stayed ahead of us, some slang.
What's your favorite track memory so far?
Probably getting bullied by Landon Thacker and Luke Newman at practice.
Mine's being sat on by Jordan Senegata and Alex Jensen.
Mine's getting left in DL my freshman year.
So Thacker, what are you going to miss about track?
Probably my little favorite freshman right here and bus rides home.
Yeah! So Thacker, do you have any advice for future track athletes?
Always listen to Derek. Don't complain to him.
You don't even do that.
All right, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Junior reporter Peyton Marquette here with Dove Schiere, captain of the tennis team. So Dove, what do you enjoy most about tennis?
Tennis gets chicks.
What is your favorite tennis memory?
It was late night on the way back from a meet, and we had just bought Dairy Queen with cash. And there was like people were throwing change from opposite sides of the bus at each other. It was Ethan Rohde mostly.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we love to hear about the warfare that goes on the buses.
Yes.
Now I've tracked down Carter Ness, captain of the tennis team, and I'm going to ask him, what was your best performance this year?
I'd have to say the other day, home against Alec, I kind of popped off on that game.
Yeah. I wasn't there, but I could hear it from miles away. Shut up, Grant. All right, now I've reeled in Christian Tyrone Reed, and I'm going to ask him, what's your favorite tennis memory?
Oh, my favorite memory has to be from this year. We went down to Wilmer for a triangular, and for the first time in my career, I won 2 matches on varsity.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, let's go. Big man. That takes it home.
Me too, Tyrone.
All right, now I've got Joey Johnson here to tell his favorite tennis memory. Take it away.
My favorite tennis memory is playing with my boy Raymond.
Raymond?
Yeah.
Raymond?
This is Raymond.
It really makes you feel good, doesn't it, Peyton?
Yeah, I really enjoy seeing all the accomplishments our teams have achieved.
What? No. Well, yeah, but no. I was just thinking about how school's getting out next week. It's making me feel so good that I had to get out into KSS hallways and find out what's making our classmates feel proud today.
Nice. And speaking of feeling good, our local ambulance services must be feeling pretty good themselves. Ben Johnson went out to Ringdalls to find out how they've been able to help provide relief efforts in the war in Ukraine. It ain't hard. Park right, KSS.
It's a beautiful day out here at KSS, and we're gonna go see what students have to be proud of. What do you have to be proud of?
Summer hockey. I got invited to be a captain.
Ryan, what do you have to be proud of today?
What do I have to be proud of? The fact that I'm getting interviewed by Caden Litt. That's something I have to be most proud of today.
I am proud of getting out of bed and creating a ceramic bowl today. I'm proud of Greta.
I am very proud of myself and how far I've come over the years.
I got my math grade up.
Well, I'm happy about an opportunity tonight to go out to eat with my family. My sons haven't been around for a little while. My wife and I are going to be taking them out. So really excited about that. Proud of the kids and looking forward to it.
I'd say I'm pretty proud of the friends that I've made.
You know, today I'm exceptionally proud of our teaching staff for coming up with a creative idea to help solve the problem we've been having with visitor parking. Seems that they've worked out a solution that will help put us in the right direction here as we move forward. And good job, teachers. Great job.
That I'm alive, just living.
A colleague of mine was on the phone with a vendor, a medical supply vendor, and the question was just kind of thrown out there, just kind of jokingly, and then when he got on the phone, it's like, you guys want to send an ambulance to Ukraine? And we're like, yeah, I think we could send an ambulance to Ukraine. And then we're looking at our inventory of ambulances that we've been been taken out of service or ones that are scheduled to come out of service, and we're like, well, we can send 3. Let's send 3.
Yeah,
because we can.
Yeah. All right. So what's the process like sending them there?
So the organizations that have been collectively trying to get this project going they're Ukrainians. There's an organization in the United States that have direct communication with the Ukrainians in Ukraine, and collectively they've done everything they can to get the products there, the equipment, and the ambulances there through generating funds to ship them, to line up an aircraft to fly them there, and then to go through the process once they get to Poland or Ukraine.
Okay. Are you working with anyone else to get these ambulances there?
We're the only ones in Minnesota that have delivered or that have donated any of the ambulances. There's an organization in Chicago that's able to round up some more ambulances in the upper Midwest, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, in those areas.
All right. How many ambulances have you sent to Ukraine so far?
3.
Okay.
3 were sent on, I believe, the 7th. They were loaded up on a 747 and freighter and flown over there.
All right.
And we've pledged 3 additional ambulances.
Okay.
For future. For example, this unit is currently in service, but once we have the replacements, we'll send more. There's other organizations that have helped with the either pledging or actually donating the additional equipment, such as Lake Region Hospital and Jamestown Area Ambulance, as well as Prairie Ridge.
Okay. All right. So my last question for today: how long does it take an ambulance to get there usually?
So this situation was a little bit more unique because there's a strong need for the ambulances to be there. Unfortunately, some of the ambulances, or all the ambulances in Ukraine, are targets. The Russians don't want them, obviously, because they aid the sick and injured. So by the time that we had everything lined up as far as paperwork for customs, trucking them to Chicago and getting the flights to Poland was about, I would say, 2 weeks. But the actual transportation of them was actually quite short. And then once they got to Poland, they were hastily acquired by the Ukrainians and taken over the border into Ukraine.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Rendall.
Absolutely.
Senior reporter Ben Johnson signing off.
That's amazing to think our town has so much great stuff going on, both here in the school and in the community. It's nice finishing the school year on a positive note.
Yep, there isn't much time left in the school year, and also not that much time left in this episode.
Our final story looks ahead into the KSS schedule. Students may need to prepare themselves for a changing classroom policy.
Through this year, we've all probably dealt with a few different classroom rules when it comes to using our phones or leaving the room on a hall pass.
True. Some of our teachers are strict, others not so much, and some don't even seem to have much of a policy anyway.
Well, starting in the fall, all teachers are expected to have the same basic rules when it comes to phones and hall passes. Here's Principal Anderson and Assistant Principal Tilke to explain what that will look like.
So this is our opportunity to kind of get out front of some of the expectations we're going to have next year for the classroom and hallway expectations. One of the first ones, and this comes from both students and staff, wanting to know what the expectations are and making sure that everybody is on the same playing field and that the same rules apply in all classrooms and in the hallway to all students, so that if you walk into a English classroom and then into a math classroom, that we're not expecting two different sets of rules all the time, that the rules are always the same. They're the same for 7 hours a day for all 14 classes that a student would have next year with us. The first one is that all students have to be in class and have all their supplies with them when the bell rings. They're there, ready to go, and have a purpose for that class each day, that we're not sending kids out to go to out in the hallway to get additional items that they didn't bring with, the expectations they bring everything with. That brings us to the next piece. One of the big things that we've seen is kids straggling in around 8:25, 8:30, and class starts at 8:20. So one of the things we're really going to focus hard on, especially first hour, but all the hours, and this goes for us as adults and the students, is when the bell rings at 8:20, all students need to be inside the door ready to go. If they're not, the door will close. Students will not be allowed in. They'll have to come to the office to get a pass and will be marked unexcused until they get back to their teacher, and their teacher then makes the change in their attendance, or the office makes the unexcused absence into a tardy instead. So we'll be having conversations with students who are where they're supposed to be right away. We want to make sure that students understand that the importance of being on time is an expectation after they graduate from us. And when you move on to the work, military, or college, some places you go to when you come late, they ask you to go home. Non-negotiable in the military, and it's not uncommon for college professors to say, my class starts at 9 o'clock. You walk in at 9:01, you're not welcome, you need to leave for the day. So we're trying to put expectations, real life opportunities in place for everybody, and that the expectations are the same all the way through. This will be for sure first hour, and we'll expect our teachers to be in the classrooms, making sure students are there and that attendance is taken in the first 5 minutes. One of the other things that we're changing, we're seeing a lot of food and a lot of food being left out and a lot of food being left in bathrooms. So some of the things we've been talking about as staff is that's not appropriate. And next year we're going to go back that all lunches have to be eaten in the cafeteria. We'll have space for our high school students. Once they're done eating and they've dumped their food in the garbage, then we'll be able to go back up to space, sit and relax and have some soft conversations. but there won't be any lunch out in the hallways or in the activities office moving forward. We've also noticed that kids are walking off campus during lunch. We are not an open campus. We don't have open lunch. So the doors here will be monitored also on that process, so those things don't happen in the future. One of the other things we talked about, I just mentioned the bathroom and the food. We see people leaving food in the bathroom on the ledges. That's extremely disgusting. You don't know what someone else has done on that ledge in the bathroom, and it is really sanitary, even though it's been cleaned each night. So there should be no food in the bathrooms. And then in the classrooms, the concern there is kids are bringing in food from lunch. Food will be eaten in the cafeteria, as I said. The only food that will be in the classrooms will be first hour, because that's when we have breakfast. It's a grab and go opportunity to eat quick and then put it in the garbage. Snacks from teachers would be something that they would have to allow to happen with permission from the staff here. And we're looking to limit the number of coffees and caffeine drinks that are brought into the classrooms, instead going back to, if you want something to drink, bring a bottle of water or a container that has water in it. And the other piece is we're really going to be monitoring language in the hallway. We've had some concerns about some swearing and inappropriate language and some inappropriate comments towards other people. So those are the things that we're going to be hitting and listening to really hard on next year, and be pulling in kids one-on-one in the conversations on how those things need to be happening as we move forward. A lot of this has come from hearing students. They want to be all treated the same and have the same expectations in classrooms. They want to have the same expectations 7 hours a day, not each hour having different rules. So our goal is to make sure that we have these expectations up and out. This is coming to you this year at the end of the school year. So next year when we come back, we'll have this conversation again, and these will be posted in our hallway and in our classroom, so everybody's extremely clear and it's crystal clear that everybody's on the same page. Thank you.
We've been revisiting our electronic device policy, and with that, we've decided to do some things that are going to look a little different around our high school, and we wanted students to be prepared for that. We're really working hard with our teacher leadership group and our high school staff to come up with a plan that's going to work best for everybody, and we understand that that change could cause some hard times for kids if they don't know what they're coming into. So we wanted you to know that next year, once we come back to school, students will not be allowed to have cell phones in classrooms. They won't be visible at any point in time. They can't be set on your desk. They can't be pulled out to check the time. And anytime a cell phone is visible in class, teachers will have a designated space for them, whether it's a big white tub or clear tub, or something that looks like a calculator pocket chart that's hanging on a doorway. But there will be a safe space for students to store their cell phones. No matter what, they're not allowed to be seen and put back into a backpack or into a pocket. We're going to make sure that we're following these steps in every single classroom. If a student needs to leave the classroom to use the restroom, their cell phone will be their pass out of the classroom. So for example, if I were to leave Mr. Solin's geography class, I would put my cell phone into the designated space, and even when I returned back from the restroom, that cell phone would stay there till the end of the class period. We do understand that that's a change, but this is a change that has taken place in many schools across the area, and we're looking to find ways to improve our instructional setting, and this distraction is one thing that we're trying to work around. And so again, it's going to come with some steps in the process along the way, educating students, educating parents, working with teachers, and then that also goes along with earbuds or headphones. Earbuds or headphones will not be allowed to be worn in any classroom setting. That's of course unless the teacher has you working with something off of a Chromebook or school issued device where you need to be listening to a Google Classroom podcast or something of that nature. And so all of these expectations will be enforced systematically across the high school classrooms next school year, and we want to make sure that kids are aware of these changes. Obviously, we are also working with students through the communication process on this, and we have taken student input into play, and we will continue to monitor and adjust and do what we feel is best for our high school as we move forward into the next school year.
I'm sure the new rules will cause some discussion and also some confusion, but it's good to have them all laid out for us.
True, and it doesn't seem too different from what a lot of the teachers were already doing.
Well, Caden, I think it's just about time that we sign off for this year. What's the first thing you're going to do as the school lets out for summer?
I've been planning a trip to the cities to spend a couple days up there. How about you?
Well, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of voyaging, dishwashing, and soccer reffing, but that's for another day.
Well, KSS, that's it for the school year, but we'll be back with a new class and more episodes next fall.
So look forward to it.
Until then, I'm Caden Litt.
And I'm Peyton Marquette.
Stay classy, KSS.
Yeah, every boy's points counted yesterday.
How do you guys prepare a day before a meet?
I mentally prepare.
Dude, that's what you drove here with.
Back daddy.
Delicious.
Prepare mentally.
Dude, we gotta go back to the right.
Here. I need you to answer 5. Me? Yes. Now I've tracked down Coach Titus of the tennis team, and I'm going to ask him if there was one reason to join tennis, what would it be?
Peyton Marquette.
All right, now I've brought over Nick. Nick, what do you come here for?
I come here for the camaraderie, and, you know, the chance to relieve myself after a good day of school.
Okay. That is Raymond.
Yeah, this is Raymond. He's special to me. Been through a lot together.
Seems like it. Okay, right. Thank you for showing us your special toy.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure.
You heard it. You heard it. You heard it.
You heard it here first.